Hi, everyone. It's Angela Schuster from Faux Time Design. Welcome to the Faux Time Design Studio. I'm so excited that you're here because I am going to have the opportunity to interview one of my dear friends, one of the top decorative painters and stencil designers in the industry. She is absolutely fabulous. I'm going to show you her beautiful face in just a moment. It is but I want to tell you about her. But let me just tell you a little bit. If you don't know about Faux Time Design, we are a faux and decorative finishing company. We are based in Bergen County, New Jersey, which is Closter, New Jersey, 241 Herbert Avenue. We are actually right over the George Washington Bridge. So we work in the entire tri-state area, the New York metro area. We are actually one of the largest all-women decorative painting companies in the Northeast. That's kind of cool. And we do a lot of work with stencils. And one of my favorite designers is Cynthia Davis with Wallovers. And I'm going to show you her gorgeous. Let me just bring her in. Hey, girl.
There.
How are you? All right. So, everyone, I would like you to meet Cynthia Davis with Wallovers. Cynthia, tell me about yourself, girl.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Where to start?
Beautiful
years. You're like the best.
Thank you for the beautiful introduction. I'm very excited to be here and to be a part of Faux Time Design. You are actually my idol, so we had to step back a minute. And
there you go.
I mean, it's very hard to take business from doing it yourself to being able to let go and have the trust to let others do work for you. And I admire so much what you guys do all the time. I really do. I'm a huge follower.
Thank you. Thank you. I've got a great team, and team, so.
Fantastic. And I want to thank you for your business. I know you guys use Wallovers a lot, and we're super excited to have you as our customer. I can see
kind of our Wallover section, in case anybody was wondering.
Fantastic. Well, we're coming out with new stuff all the time, so we'll catch you up on that. But yeah, I mean, I've been doing decorative painting for over 25 years. I mean, probably started like a lot of us did by having a craft that sort of went awry. I was doing just crafty things. I was painting picture frames and candlesticks and things. I ended up doing work for Ben & Jerry's company where they ordered like 600 ice cream cone frames at a time, and I think they thought I was like a factory or something, and I finally was like, I can't do this anymore. But that was when I had little kids, I wanted to kind of move from marketing and corporate into my home. But I did start in marketing, and I think I worked in advertising, and I think that's where a lot of the success of taking painting and designing to a business, you really have to be a business person, as I'm sure that you very well know, because you're very successful.
You know what? We've talked about that because my background also was in marketing. I was in corporate traditional marketing for 12 years before I went into the decorative arts. I think it makes a huge difference.
It does.
Absolutely.
It does, because a lot of painters that want to get into decorative painting, but they're just not successful at it, don't understand the business aspects. And I'm not talking about creating a stencil line. I'm just talking about specifically working with clients and how to manage it, So I left the marketing field when I had children and started doing what I always loved, art. I always took art classes on the weekends. I always enjoyed I never thought it would be my life. As probably a lot of us find, we start.
Do we ever expect it to?
Right. People see it and they say, I want to pay you to do that. And when people started saying that to me, I was like, oh, okay, I'll do that. I mean, I remember back to the first decorative painting job, I literally had a stick from a tree that I was stirring my paint with. Like I had no idea that the stuff from the stick could get into my paint. It was just like, what do I mix this with? And I walked out with a check for painting those little spongy flowers on the wall, and that was 25 years ago. So I
Okay, was that your inspiration, the tree, or I? What?
You know, my inspiration, I'll say there's a few of them from way back. My grandmother, Fay Wolf, who passed away, you know, many, many, many years ago, was a fine artist. And she used to have me in her kitchen when I was little, you know, telling me to color out of the lines in the coloring books and to be creative. And I just loved her. And she really was somebody that was an inspiration for me and always will be. And so that's why I always loved art. But as far as decorative painting and the development of a stencil line, I am just a textile nut. I mean, I can't go anywhere without feeling and touching and looking at pattern. And I think it's sort of like a sixth sense that some people have, that they just need to do something, whether it's a sport or, you know, writing or whatever creative outlet they have. Mine is like creating patterns and looking at patterns and color. I have color everywhere in my life, in my house and my clothing, and I'm very subdued today to be online, but you know, I love that kind of creativity. So it was really great to have an outlet with Wallovers, to be taking that and bringing it to other people. So, you know, basically just in a nutshell, I had piles and piles of hand-cut stencils and designs and patterns over the years. And I finally looked at that pile and I was like, I got to let other people use these. And that was the creation of Wallovers, along with Rena Paris, who is my partner in Wallovers, and you know, really encouraged me to move forward and do it. So
your designs are always groundbreaking. That, you know what I love about your designs, and the reason that we use them so often with our work is because they are ahead of the curve. You know, decorative finishing, I don't need to tell you, and we have a lot of people watching, by the way. Everyone, I see a huge group of people watching. Please put in your comments a high five for Cynthia.
Thank you for watching.
Because you've got quite a fan base out there, girl, that are watching. But you know, your designs are just ahead of the curve. They're not the you know, the old faux, the old stenciling, anything like that. It's just right on target. And you know what? As one of your customers, you know, that's just huge for us, and that's why I wanted to bring you to teach here. You know, I was really, when I opened up the studio. Well, you know, when I opened up our commercial space 4 years ago, one of my ultimate goals was to have professional classes. And I kind of wanted to put together a dream team. And so you were on that dream team of people I had to have come and teach here. And so I'm so excited. Let me tell everybody when the class is, and then let's talk about kind of what you're going to do for the class. Okay. So class is Friday, September the 28th. It's from 9 to 5. It is called Who Needs Wallpaper, which is awesome, because who the heck needs wallpaper? That's what. Yeah. So, I mean, come on, people. So tell us a little bit about what your class is going to entail.
All right. Well, I would like to comment just for a minute on the Dream Team, because I do want to mention that you had Gary Lord on recently, yes, who is a very big inspiration for me, has been, and was a mentor for me at the beginning of my career. And I wanted to say thank you to Gary, and I think it's such an honor to be on a Dream Team along with Gary Lord. That's just the hugest honor I could think of. So thank you.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. He's amazing. Anyway, he really is.
I mean, he really did. He was a big pusher for me to be a teacher. And I didn't have the belief in myself at the time. And he said, you got to do it. And I remember him sitting on the desk of my first class when those reviews came in and grabbing them out of my hand to make sure that he could and thank God they were good. So I didn't have to be too embarrassed, but it really was important to my career. So, but the class, the reason why I call it Who Needs Wallpaper is I don't know in all the markets, but certainly in New York, which is ahead of the curve, and in Connecticut area and the East Coast, Wallpaper has made a big resurgence, and I find a lot of designers are always going for wallpaper. A lot of the design stores that have, walk into, have high-end design work done, have wallpaper samples, but there are not a lot of decorative painting options, or just sometimes they don't even know that what you can do. And to be able to tell people that you can recreate almost anything, and it can be custom to the person. You don't have to shop around for wallpaper books. You get a consult, you get the colors you want, you get the design you want, you get the scale you want. We have a lot of designs with wallovers. I should mention that we can scale up or down our designs. We do get requests for that sometimes. So, when you look at what we have online, and we will have our new brochure kicking off at your class. We are getting it printed right now.
Excited about that.
So, there'll be some new designs that specifically we're going to kick off with you. But so the wallpaper resurgence has really been something that we focused on, as letting our designers and our clients know that we can create anything with stencils. This company, Wallover, started as a particular niche, and that niche was, we only do all over repeat design. So when you're looking for a stencil design, there's a lot of great companies out there, and they're all inspirations for us. And we hope to, we all, I think, care and share about each other's work. But I do believe we're the only one who only has all over designs. We do not sell, borders, medallions, medellas, all of that, thing. We just want you to, if you want to do a pattern, you have to look at wallovers, because you'd be missing out on, that line of design. So, so the class, getting to the class, is featuring patterned finishes. The great thing about my classes that I've heard from feedback is that the base finishes that we do can stand alone. So you're learning the base finish, and then you're also getting to learn about stencils, learn about all over designs, hear the tricks of the trade and where we've messed up, and you don't have to. And we can tell you all about them.
If you haven't messed up something.
We help you with how we price things. We're very open with information. That's one thing I learned from taking classes. I do not want to go to a class where someone is holding back a little bit of information so that I just, have to keep asking. Right. My way of teaching is to provide as much information and pack it all in. And that doesn't mean pack in 15 boards. That means leave with beautiful boards and a lot of confidence and excitement about going to do the designs. So the class will entail, the morning usually is you're putting all those finishes on that then need to dry for the stencil layer. My classes always feature very simple things to do that look stunning and look like they're very complex and gorgeous, but they're simple. And sometimes I even feel guilty teaching them because they're so simple, but that's the beauty of them, is that you can do them easily. They're products that are easily attainable and inexpensive for the most part. We're always throwing in different products. I don't represent one product line too, which I think is sort of nice, because I'm not telling my students that they have to use all of one thing. We mix, we substitute, we talk about substitutions. And so we're going to focus on pattern designs. The other interesting good thing about the class, do you want me to stop and let you jump in?
Fabulous. You're like, I'm just so excited about this. Let me just say something for all of you out there. And my goodness, hello, we've got so many people following right now. Let me just tell everyone that Cynthia's going to pack into one day what normally would be in 2 days. It's incredible what you're going to get with one day with her. So it's going to be an amazing, amazing class. I am so excited about this. And if you don't have the opportunity You know, a lot of the decorative artists will be going down to the International Decorative Artisans League, a national convention, which is in October. Unfortunately, Cynthia's not going to be there, and I want you to tell us about, you know, your big plans, because I know you got a lot going on. But this is your opportunity, and honestly, are you teaching anywhere else? I don't think you're teaching anywhere else this fall, right?
I have a really busy fall, personally and professionally, and so I will not be teaching any other class that I know of right now. So this is a great opportunity. It's sort of in the middle of a lot of states and places on the East Coast. I'm really excited to be there, where it's easy to get to for a lot of people. But it is the only time that I know of as of right now. I know I just don't have time to do another one. So yes, IDAL is great. I'm obviously a huge supporter, and I wish I could be in more than one place at a time, like we all do. But this year, I'm excited to be taking a group of women to Morocco to visit Melanie's beautiful Maison 28. Thanks, Melanie.
Wait, for everyone who doesn't know, who is Melanie? And if you don't know, really, you don't know.
You won't know, but Melanie Royals, who is another inspiration of mine, and who has always been a friend and a supporter. And that just, I think, should let everybody know that your competition is your best friend and not your enemy. And the more we can share with our competition and help each other, the more, well, life is just better, but I think the more we learn. And so this is a great collaboration to now bring a group of women to stay and introduce Marrakesh. I've fallen in love with Marrakesh as well as she has, and the design and the smells and the colors and the beauty and the craftsmanship there. So I actually put this trip together, and I didn't even get to advertise it. It was full by word of mouth within probably 3 days. So I will do it again, I'm sure. But so that's why I won't be at IDAL, and this will be the only class. So yeah, the opportunity is at your studio.
Exactly. And wait, let me just one more time, guys. It's Friday, September 28th. It's $295. I mean, it is really a steal. This is just to have, you have to register. I know you have to register ASAP, because I know the class is going to get full. I mean, we have a lot of space here at the studio, but 100 folks we can't fit. You know, so we do have limited space. So please register ASAP.
You know, I'm happy to mention a couple other things about the class if I can. You'll have to let me know.
Yep.
Just the way the class works, it's a little different. And I'm sure a lot of people who are online have maybe taken classes from me in the past. We have over 60 designs now. And especially with this class being a drivable thing for me, every single thing is coming with us. So we're going to have bring all of our stencils, which will be at discount. But the great thing is, for the class, it really is a creative class. It allows people to use the designs that are best for their market, for their upcoming jobs, and for what you want to do. So, you know, every board, you get to select your own design. It at first seems a little daunting, but it actually turns out to be really fun. So you get the same finish, but it also shows how the same finish can look great with 17 different, or how many people in the class, stencil designs. And if you didn't get the one you love on that board, you'll get it on the next board. And it's just a great way to be like, oh, I've been in classes where I'm kind of forced to use a particular design that I'm never going to sell. So this is an opportunity for students to say, you know what, I don't like polka dots. I have a more, you know, modern clientele, or I'm more traditional, and you can pull from the stencils what you want to use. And it's just works a little bit differently that way. So I want to mention.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, and also, like you said, we are so centrally located that it is so easy for anyone to get here. We're only 4 hours from Boston. We are 20 minutes from New York City. We are, I think, from Philadelphia, it's 2 hours. From Maryland, it's 4 hours. I mean, we are literally central to everyone. So it's great. And of course, we always have an amazing, lunch while you're here. So, there's just, and the nice community of coming to train either. And just, I want to mention to everyone, this is not just for professionals, but there are a lot of inspired enthusiasts who may be thinking about delving into the decorative finishing world. This is a great introduction for those people to say, hey, come and meet the community and look at this. Like you said, one of the things, you and I have talked that, Gary Lord was an inspiration to both of us. And I know we do this in all of our finishes, just like you do, is that, they're not so complicated. If any clients are watching, they're very complicated, and that's why I charge you lots of money. But
no, I think that's a really good point. That's a really good point, Angela. In fact, I just recently ran a DIY class in my studio. It was not widely advertised because it was just for kind of local, and I did some of these same finishes, and you really can be a beginner and do this and walk away so inspired. I just put together a stencil order for someone from that class who's ready to do it in their home.
There you go.
So you definitely, it's for all levels. The boards in the end look very high end and very complex, and that is what the beauty of them is, but they are doable by anybody. They're a great addition to a portfolio or just for inspiration. But I do believe that leaving 6 patterns right now, 6 or we hopefully we'll get to 7, is important with how many people I see looking at wallpaper again. Yeah. It's really great to be able to show it and say, and it is as daunting as people think all overs are. We make it simple, and we explain what you need and what are the things that are imperative to be prepared about to be successful at it.
100%. So that's Now, behind you are some of the designs that you will be teaching, correct?
Well, yes. So some of them are on those boards, and some of them are sitting by me on a chair. I've been working on them nonstop and keep coming up with new ones. So there are
what she's not telling you, hold on. What she's not telling you that we were laughing about offline is we spent a half hour setting up laughing. Like, we both got our computers elevated with cans of paints. We've got cans of paints behind us. She's got cans of paint, right? Did you say your whole work table is?
This looks very beautiful right here, doesn't it? If I turn the computer around, it's a bomb. And the bomb has been Faux Time Design class. So I told Angela, I have the boards, but you never know what's going to be inspiring. I'm going to Santa Fe in a few weeks. I might come up with something else. I want to just show you a couple of new things.
Please, I'm going to just focus so everyone sees this gorgeous board. There we go. Love that one.
So this isn't one of the new boards I just did, which I'm very excited about. And there'll be others that we're introducing. This is a brand new design. We haven't even sold it yet. But I want to show just quickly for people who might be new to stenciling or understanding of, how things work, because I tend to always show the boards and not the stencils.
Right.
That this is obviously a stencil, but the way our designs work is that we have these outer registration marks.
Right.
And you only stencil the inside, and then it moves north, south, east, and west very easily. And Angela, you had mentioned, my mentioning the topper.
The toppers is one of, just so everyone knows, the toppers is one of the reasons we were drawn to wallovers. So can you kind of explain the concept behind the toppers?
Yes. So being decorative painters and doing a lot of patterns over the years, as I mentioned, there's always a space at the top of the wall, because when you do your stencil, you generally, I don't know too many painters who don't butt it up to the ceiling line. Can you see this?
Right. Yeah.
You end up with all this blank part of the design that's not done. And then you have to, in the end, pull it up like this and put it over your head like this and try to stencil under your head. And the spray adhesive and the tape gets stuck to your hair, and it makes a disaster mess. And after doing that and cutting our stencils, and cutting them so that we could put it up on the ceiling line, Rena and I decided, this was at the very, before we even started Wallovers, at the very beginning, that we would create these toppers. And so when we started the stencil line, we made sure that there was one. And these are self-adhesive, so the back rolls off and it's very sticky. And it's basically, you only need one of these because you're just running it along the top of the wall and you can use it for several rooms. So that's why we don't put one with every stencil, because that would put up the price of our stencils. We do sell them, whereas now other companies have all created these, and they put, some of them do put them in with their stencils, but you know, we do have to pay for them, so we have to charge for them, but we tell you not to buy them if you don't need them. You don't need them for sample boards, you don't need them for, you know, you don't need 4 with 4 stencils, you just need 1. And it's a lifesaver, it's a lifesaver. So hopefully it's easier to see it in action, but there are videos, I think, on Wallover's blog. If you go on the Wallover site, you can see a video of the topper.
Yeah, and they are invaluable. Like I said, that was one of the reasons we were drawn to you initially, and they have saved us so much in production time, which is great because you're also showing us how to use them in production, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and I know for me, at the end of every job, I was always saying, all right, I don't want to do that space at the top. Somebody else. And now I'm like, I'll do the topper. Give me the topper. It's like it says it's so easy. It's already cut to design, you know, cut to register to what you painted. And it's just not, it makes the job finish off really nicely and easily. So
yeah. We always used to give that to the low man on the totem pole. It's like, you're stuck at the top.
Yeah, now I take it. Yeah,
exactly. All right. So listen, we're going to have to wrap up. I know that you have to feed your chickens.
I have to get the eggs. Yeah.
She's got to feed her chickens. She's in Fairfield, Connecticut. We were laughing, and I was saying, only Cynthia and Martha Stewart actually love having chickens, because I grew up with chickens, and going to gather eggs was not something that I looked forward to at all. Sorry. I'm sure my mom is one of those many people watching right now. So sorry.
I love being outside. It forces me out to the world. So that's the good part of it. I love it.
I love it. All right. So after you feed your chickens, you're actually going somewhere really special this afternoon. You want to tell us about it?
Yes, I don't really know that much about it, but there is a festival called the Compassion Fest. It's taking place in New Haven. And my son, who is just starting the first plant-based World Expo in New York City next year, which revolves around plant-based food and clothing. And he and I are going to go check it out because it's featuring a lot of plant-based food and compassionate types of speakers, and we're excited to just see what it's all about. And I know you also asked, because I ran back from volunteering this morning and wanted to show you very quickly.
She's all over the place, people.
Yeah, this morning was a crazy morning, but so a lot of people might have heard of this, but we work with refugee women in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Can you see that? Teaching them how to sew after they've been in refugee camps for over a decade, and they're relocated to Connecticut. So we were selling these beautiful products. So if anyone's ever interested, maybe I can bring some to the class. But they're all the women. Each one tells the story of the woman who made it, who lives right here locally, and they get paid, and they really pay their bills with it. So it's great. So yeah, so some fun, community stuff today too. Just great.
Oh, you're such a special person. Guys, I cannot wait. I don't want this summer to go too fast, but I got to tell you, it's something really special to look forward to when you come. We are going to have in the studio, folks, we're going to have in this showroom. You see the showroom's right over my shoulder. I'm sitting in the workroom right now. But we're going to have a lot of these samples here so you can see. So when you stop in to register, although I got to tell you, if you don't register online, I'm really afraid these classes are already going to get booked up. But we're here Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, Saturdays 9 to 2. So stop in if you want to pre-register. And gosh, this has been a wonderful morning. This just made my morning. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for everybody who was listening and watching. Appreciate it.
Very good. All right. Have a wonderful day, folks. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.